A good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Formula SimRacing 2018 Winter Series. My name is Felix van Delft, and I'm joined here by Dylan Scrivens, and we are getting ready to start the second round of this Winter Series here at the Dubai Autodrome. Welcome, Dylan.
Hello, Felix. Welcome to Dubai on this very warm day.
Yeah, 29 degrees at the moment on the server, and qualifying has just started about 2 minutes in, and I believe or at least most of the drivers are about to set their first lap times. I'm looking at Wojciech Lukacek. He is about to finish his first lap. Let's see what lap time he's going to be able to do. For him it's going to be a 1:37.9, so a reasonably good lap time, I believe. Paul, or the quickest time in the pre-qualifying session earlier today was a 37.9 as well, 37.8, something like that, I believe. At the moment, Luke Maguire is quickest on the server with a very nice first sector and a good second sector as well. When we're looking at Darrell Brady starting his lap. And so Luke Maguire should be finishing his lap really soon now. Yes, he just did, and a 37.8 for him. And as I said, that Kirill Birukov goes even quicker with a 37.6. So very nice lap times already here at the beginning of this qualifying session, which is still 15 minutes long. So the drivers already showing quite some pace here. We've still got about 25 drivers here, or 27 even, driving here in this round. For the new viewers here, the Winter Series this year consists of GP3 cars. As you can see, these cars are based off the GP3 2016 season, I believe. And we've also got a GP3 stylish race format. We start with a feature race of 30 minutes long after the qualifying, of course. And then after that we will have a sprint race of 15 minutes, and the top 10 finishers of the feature race will start reversed. So 10th place will be on pole position for the sprint race, which makes things quite exciting. Last round, or last week, we had a race at Imola. Of course, a beautiful circuit that has a lot of history as well. And had some nice racing there. I believe you were driving as well, weren't you, Dylan?
Yeah, I was driving. I had some interesting races. It's pretty fun though. Just Winter Series, just a bit of fun. Get to know the car, get to know everyone.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Dylan says, Winter Series is also about having fun. It's of course not for as big of a prize as the FSR main season is most of the time. So most of the drivers also take it as a fun season and try to see how competitive they actually are against some of the drivers we have here. I mean, we've got Michi Hoyer driving, which is of course Ace Champion 2016, World Championship driver in 2017. So definitely not the least name here out on track. So let's see how some drivers can drive against him, because Michi won the feature race last week and finished third in the sprint race as well, after an absolutely incredible start. I think he was up to third already after one sector, so he did an amazing job there. And let's see how we can do today. Michi is also, I think, streaming his own view, his onboard view on his YouTube channel. So just go to Michi Hoyer on YouTube if you want to see his POV. And
speaking of Michi, I believe he just gone purple in Sector 1.
Yeah, he just did. Alright, so let's take a look at Michi.
On his first flying lap.
So he's now coming through the last corner. Second sector was okay for him. Let's see what is his lap time. 37.7, so second place for him at the moment. Just over a tenth slower than Kirill Burukov. And doing a good job so far. Of course, there is still 12 minutes remaining. The qualifying format here is not unlimited, so you can't do unlimited amount of laps. You have to do you have a limit of 12 total completed laps, or total laps I should say, 12 total laps, which means that you will have an in lap, hot lap and an out lap, and that 4 times. So you basically have 4 qualifying tries, and if you mess up somewhere you will have 1 less. So that puts some pressure on the drivers in qualifying. Luke McGuire, by the way, is about to improve his lap time. Purple sector 1, green sector 2. Lucas Schmidt is about to come through the second sector or through the third sector to start his lap. I think his second attempt, yes.
Well, Luke McGuire did improve. We say it's a fun series, but it's still pretty competitive at the top if you look at the times. 3,000ths between Luke and Mitchie Hoyer.
Yeah, it's really close there between teammates. Luke, of course, after driving for Invictus Motorsports last season in FSR, has switched to the ACR Zach Speed team.
I do believe he drove for Go Speed as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Of course, he drove for Go Speed second part of the season.
Yeah.
And he did reasonably well. I think in the 8th series, qualified reasonably high up. In the races, his driving style was quite aggressive. So in the races, he often made some mistakes, had some spins or crashes, and that made him not always finish as high up as his pace would let it seem. Anyway, let's take a look at Lucas Schmidt as he starts his second attempt, going through the first sector. Dubai is a track with a lot of long corners and a lot of banking in the corners as well. You can see it here, a very long right-hander here at the end of sector 1. And then you have, again, a very long left-hander with some banking in it. A lot of a lock used by the drivers here in the qualifying session. The tires, of course, are not as punishing here in the qualifying session as they will be in the race, because you only have to do 1 quick lap.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun track to drive with a bit of elevation change, unlike some other tracks, and some nice banking, some long corners, some slow corners. It's got a bit of everything.
Yeah. Green sector 1 for Lucas Schmidt. Let's see what he can do in sector 2.
Fabian Ruth has also done a very decent sector 1. Under a 10th off of the purple sector 1, I believe.
Alright.
And Dominic Wazienko, also very fast in sector 1.
Oh, Lucas Schmidt making a little bit of a mistake in the last corner. Sliding, will lose him some time now. Let's see what he can do over the line. 38.1, so that is an improvement. Puts him up to 5th place at the moment. But I think he will be wanting to start up a little bit higher than that. Dominik Wazienko also on a good first sector. A lot of guys on a very good first sector. Now Wazienko is about to come out of the last corner. Let's see what he can do. Alright, so a 30... let's see. What is it? A 37.794. Which is an improvement up to 4th place for him. So nice job by Wazienko. Let's see, Ton van Egmond is also on a improvement through the first sector. Flag to flag driver.
Decent sector 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Now, last couple of corners for Ton. Out of the last corner. Takes it fairly easy. Doesn't run as wide as some people do. 38.194, which puts him into 8th place at the moment. Which is not too bad for him.
Yeah, just needs to find a bit more time in sector 1 and 3 and be up there. Because sector 2 is very good.
Yep. Matthew Tewson is improving his lap time at the moment as he comes out of the last corner just a second. As Lukacek has set the purple sector 2, so let's keep an eye out on him. His first sector wasn't the best, so he actually abandoned his lap. So third sector also not very good, and immediately he goes out for another try.
Yeah, I believe he abandoned it so he didn't exceed the lap limit. So he can have another attempt now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fair enough. If your lap's not going well enough and you have a chance to do another one by abandoning one, why not?
And then Van der Niet just came across the line for a
38.28.
38.3 at 9, not a improvement of his time.
Ah, yes.
He did seem really quick in the second sector, but not quick enough, it seems.
Yeah, a bit like Ton, very similar sectors.
Yeah. Mitchie Hoyer is about to start his, what is it, 4th attempt? No, 3rd attempt.
Yes, 3rd.
Takes it relatively slow through turn 1. Not too much lock on the wheels. Maybe saving his tires a little bit for sector 2. First sector is very quick. Then the long right-hander. On the power he goes after hitting the inside curb. Seems to be nice and smooth through here. You can see the banking on these curbs. Misses the inside apex a little, maybe not too bad because of that banking. First sector, purple for Mitchie Hoyer. But the same goes for Fabian Ruth and Lucas Schmidt. So seems the track is a little bit improving and the guys improving their lap times. Mitchie Hoyer here through the first part of sector 2. Seems a little bit slow, runs wide there on the exit. Definitely not going to help his lap time.
Meanwhile, Fabian's on a decent sector 2. Mitchie's about a 10th faster than him though.
Right, so now in the last couple of corners, Mitchie in second gear seems to be hitting his rev limiter, touches the inside curb, runs wide, and probably his lap got invalidated by that, and it abandoned it as well. Yeah, exactly. But too bad for the German driver. Still have one other German driver left, Lucas Schmidt, coming across the line for the 38.071, putting himself in 7th position for now.
Is Schmidt German? I thought.
Oh no, he's Austrian.
I thought he was Swiss.
Swiss or Austrian, something like that.
I believe he's Swiss.
But he speaks kind of German. So.
Well, yeah.
Right, so at the moment, not a lot of drivers on the track. It's not on a lap time. So Arif Roslan has just started his lap. Matthew Tewson also on the lap, and Ton van Egmond. Ton van Egmond is improving his lap time, so let's see if he can do just as good as sector 2 as he did earlier. No,
Yeah.
Sector 2, yeah.
It's similar to last time, but he needs to find some more in the Sector 3 now if he wants to improve.
Yeah. A little bit of oversteer there on the bumps of this track. Steering it in. On the power he goes.
Does seem like a decent Sector 3 though. Shall see.
Yeah, here we go.
And he does improve.
Yeah, 7th place for him at the moment, 38.033. Pretty close at the top. I mean, the gap between Maguire and Michoya is still only 0.003 of a second, which is pretty close. So maybe somebody can improve and go to that second place that Maguire is holding at the moment. Pidukov is just looking very strong. Set that first lap very quickly. Hasn't been able to improve himself after that, but yeah, very nice lap time by the I think I'm not sure what nationality he is, but
Not sure either.
seems like eastern part of Europe.
Yeah, Eastern European.
He has done this Winter Series as well last year. Saw him do relatively well there as well. Saw him doing very quick lap times. Fortunately, he didn't really do the FSR season, the regular season. At least not to my... I don't think so.
No, he didn't do the regular season for some reason. Could have been very competitive. Could have mixed it up a bit, but I guess he chose not to. Or had other commitments.
I think Arda Vrosland just ran out of fuel.
Oops. Pidukov, I think, is finishing his lap. Or is he...
He's starting his lap.
Ah, he's starting,
Yeah.
okay.
So he's just in time. Qualifying session ends in 20 seconds. So everybody that is not on a lap right now or starts one in 20 seconds time will not be able to do another lap. Most of the drivers already have done 12 of their 12 lap limit. 12 laps of their limited 12 laps. So let's see what Kirill can do. Seems nice and tidy here. Turning it in. Hits the curb perfectly there on the inside. On the power. Michoya purple in sector 1, by the way. Now the long back straight for Kirill. Not an improvement in the first sector. And it's actually quite... well, it's not a lot of, but it's some of Michi Hoyer.
Both Luke and Mitchie are improving in Sector 1 though.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be a three-way battle for pole.
Michi, not the best second sector.
Yeah, and Luke had a bit of a lock-up into the hairpin after the straight.
Yeah, Kirill seems to be struggling a lot in sector 2 here. And indeed, not an improvement there as well. So I think he is not going to be able to improve his lap time, but he's got over a 10th of room to Luke Maguire.
And Mitchie
goes on pole, exactly.
A very impressive last sector.
Only 16 hundredths of a second, and indeed, very impressive last sector. Almost a 10th quicker than Kirill did, and Luke Maguire is the only one that needs to finish.
He's abandoned his lap. He's made a mistake.
So, I believe that is most of the drivers finished.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, exactly. That's that. Michi Hoyer with an incredible lap time here. 1:37.633, proving that he is one of the best drivers here on the grid today. And he will be starting the feature race in the first spot on pole position, with right behind him Kirill Budukov, Luke Maguire, Dominic Waziensko, Wojciech Lukacek, Fabian Ruth, Tom van Egmond, Lucas Schmidt, Danny van der Niet and Terence Gresh, rounding up that top 10. Very nice indeed.
Yeah, pretty close at the top, as I said. I did have a quick look. Kirill Budukov is Russian.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, so Eastern European.
Eastern European indeed. Alright, so the drivers are about to head into their warm-up session. Will be a 10-minute session, I believe, just for the drivers to get used to the higher fuel loads of these cars. Of course, it's not as high as a Formula 1 car. About 50 liters goes into these cars. for the feature race, I believe.
50 liters, give or take. I think for Emily it was like 55, 56, but
right.
It depends on track. I don't know for this one though.
Exactly. Okay. Anyway, I think we will go for a short 5, maybe 10 minutes, no, not 10 minutes, but 5 minutes break. So if you're watching now and you think I'm not ready enough yet for this race, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cookie or something and get ready. Because it will be an exciting race for sure. But we will be back with you in about 5 to 10 minutes time. A good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Formula SimRacing 2018 Winter Series here at the Dubai Autodrome, round 2, and the warm-up session is about to end. Only 50 seconds remaining in this session. Quickest in the session, Luke Maguire with the 39.045, but normally we don't really look a lot at the warm-up times because, of course, it doesn't always represent the fuel usage the drivers will be using, or the tires the drivers will be using, or the amount of pushing the drivers are doing on their tires, because I mean they still need to go 30 minutes, the tires, or at least 15 at least, because you can, there's a mandatory pit stop in the feature race, but still you can't totally ruin them in 2 laps time.
Yeah, it's perfectly possible to ruin the tyres in a short amount of time. Speaking of pit stops, that mandatory pit stop cannot be served on the final lap, as we saw last week.
Yeah, last week we had Liam de Waal pit on the very last lap of the feature race to take his mandatory pit stop. But of course, when you pit in the last lap, you only cross you cross the finish line when you are in the pit.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little bit unfair to the other drivers, because the other drivers had to exit the pits and then had to do a slow lap because of the exit of the pits. And he didn't have to do that lap.
Even more to the point, his pit box was after the finish line, so he crossed the finish line and then went in the pit box, so it's even more more disadvantageous for everyone.
Exactly. Right, so the warm-up session has ended. And we will be preparing the race session shortly. Some drivers still doing practice start. We see Danny van der Niet. No, he doesn't do a practice start, unfortunately. Last week the start was a little bit hectic.
It was a bit.
A guy on the front row almost spinning out on the start. Let's see if the drivers are able to maintain their left foot and their clutch this time.
Yeah, it does help. I was back in P11, I think, at the start, and some guy on the other side just spun right into me. So, you know, anything can happen on the start.
Yeah.
You can have a great race, or you can have a great start to the race, or you can be in last place. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, those things happen, unfortunately, sometimes in these kind of races. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. The race session is about to start. Drivers will be getting on their grid spots.
It does seem, because of the size of the grid, some people in last will be just on the corner. Could be a bit of an awkward start.
Right. Yeah. Alright, so Michio, you're rolling off, and Dylan, would you be so kind to take us through the grid here today?
I will. On the front row we have Michi Hoy and Kirill Bidukov. Following them on the second row, Luke Maguire, Dominic Wazienko. 5th place, Wojciech Lukaszek. 6th, Fabian Ruth. Following down we have Ton van Egmond, Lucas Schmidt, Danny van der Niet, and Terence Grech, who rounds out the top 10. Following down from there we have Ivan Leonov in 11th. João Pires in 12th, Bojan Bogdanov 13th, Arif Roslan 14th, and Jos Araneda 15th. Matthew Tucson 16th, David Santos 17th, Alexis Clampano 18th, Brandon Tabone 19th, and Stoyan Balkov rounds out the top 20. Luis Moreno 21st, Jan Vesely 22nd, Tank Applegate 23rd, and Bernard Vella rounds out the grid in 24th place.
Alright, so 24 drivers here about to start this 13-minute long race. And what do you think is going to be happening strategy-wise, Dylan? I mean, looking at the drivers, most of them are using the soft tire. Let's see what Michi is using. I believe he is also on the soft, actually.
Judging
on the soft.
judging by last week, I think there's no reason not to use soft in for both stints. So you just go soft.
Yeah.
Because the mediums you lose too much time on them, and the softs you can do good times on them for 15 minutes and then swap over to another set.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to do a mandatory stop, I think you could see some interesting strategies, like some people on just mediums and not stopping, but they have to stop. So I think soft makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, drivers warming the tires. Mitchie is not taking it too quickly here in the formation lap. Just taking it slowly. Warming his tires, warming his brakes. Of course, he is quite experienced. Knows what to do and what not to do on a formation lap. What not to do is mainly crash. That is, well, yeah, formation lap 101, don't crash. But I think most of the drivers here should be able to know that and should be able to manage not crashing on a formation lap. They all come out of the last corner to set themselves up for the grid. And indeed, some of the guys will be starting just around the corner, or not around the corner, but yeah, here. Right, so everybody on the grid. Somebody not lined up properly yet. Here we go. I think everybody is in place now.
Yep, I think so. Oh, oh yes.
Yeah, alright, so the lights are coming on. All the lights are on. And we are racing here for the second round of the Formula SimRacing Winter Series. Mitchie Hoyer's got a good start, but further back already 3 wide coming into turn 1. Lukas Schmidt, Kirill Burukov and Luke Maguire all side by side. And it seems that Luke Maguire is already up to second place. A little bit further back. The drivers getting through the first couple of corners fairly cleanly. And everybody except one, I think that's Tom van Egmond, that's on in the background.
Doyan Babakov had a small contact at the rear, but that's a pretty clean start compared to last week.
Yes, exactly. Kirill Burukov in third place. Lost 1 position to Luke Maguire. Perhaps is able to save his tires a little bit more. And
Matyenko's lost a lot of positions.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the guys who went 3 wide at turn 1, and then I guess he's come out worst.
Yeah, Danny van der Niet had a good start, already up to 8th place. Let's see if he can improve more as somebody is running wide into the hairpin.
From wide.
Yeah, so lost another position to Fabian Ruth, and maybe Tom van Egmond also looking to gain 1 position here. Yeah, he also did around the outside. Is he going to be able to hold that? Kirill's not going to give up easily. However, the next corner is going to be the inside for Tom van Egmond. And it seems that he has the corner and the position here. Nice driving by Van Egmond, already up to 4th place. Just a little bit further back. Danny van der Niet side by side with Wojciech, Lukacek. Wojciech around the outside in the last corner is not going to work. But maybe the slipstream here down the main straight is going to help him. Danny will have some of the slipstream from the drivers in front, as they are also battling heavily. Kirill Burukov is defending from Lukas Schmidt. Lukas Schmidt on the inside as Lukacek makes the move on Danny van der Niet. Danny now has to watch out for Terence Gregg right behind him. He will also be looking to make that move maybe on the back straight in sector 2. Danny van der Niet now on the back straight seems to be able to maintain his position for now. Let's see a little bit further down the back. All seems to be going nicely. No overtakes so far. Here, all the way in the back, Arif Roslan had some sort of spin. Now it is side by side with Kirill Budukov and Danny van der Niet. Oh, it's Lukacek and Schmidt actually. Luca Schmidt and Lukacek. Luca Schmidt must have made a mistake then, because he was right together with Kirill Budukov and Dominik Waziensko just half a lap ago, and now he needs to defend from Wojciech Lukacek and Danny van der Niet. Now coming out of the last corner, let's see if he is able to do anything here in the slipstream of Lukas Schmidt. On the inside for turn 1, Schmidt doesn't really defend this move. Maybe he can keep it around the outside. No. Maybe to switch back. And no, and Danny van der Niet had a good run out of turn 1. So perhaps he is able to take a look on Lukas Schmidt. Lukas Schmidt closes the door firmly there for Danny van der Niet. And Danny has to be careful not to make a mistake, because the driver right behind him, Terence Gretsch, is also waiting for that mistake.
It seems in the back end of the field, Stone Barbakov's had a massive incident with someone else. Not exactly sure what happened.
Alright.
But yeah, Jan Vesely and Stone Barbakov both had a front wing.
Okay. Right, here we go. Terence Gretsch. Oh, Terence has some sort of internet issue.
Yep.
Seems to be disconnected or something.
Yeah, he's disconnected from the race.
Ooh, that is a shame. He was doing reasonably well, and I think he was about to make the move on Danny van der Niet, who was defending. Anyway, van der Niet will be now a little bit delighted, I think, with pressure off his back.
Yeah, he can breathe now.
Yeah, exactly. Can focus a little bit more on the driver in front, Lukas Schmidt. And Luke Maguire still within a second of Michi Hoyer. Last week Michi seemed to be able to make a gap to the drivers behind him relatively quickly, and after a couple of laps that gap was already up to about 3 to 4 seconds. But now he has to work a little bit harder to keep Luke Maguire behind, because Luke Maguire is somebody that is a quick guy, and definitely when he sees his prey, he will hunt him down.
He won't hesitate.
Exactly.
I think we could see a good battle maybe forming with Fabian Ruth and Don van Ekman. Both seem fairly matched pace-wise.
Yeah. Also, Kirill Budukov, of course, lost a couple of positions at the start. Still was a quick driver. See if he's able to do anything.
Yeah, actually. Kirill Budukov, Dominik Waziensko and Wojciech Lukacek behind all of them, so this could get quite interesting.
Yeah.
Very fast drivers.
Runs a little bit wide there, Tom.
Oh, further down the field, Luis Moreno's gone for a massive dive bomb and has... well, it's not ended well.
Ooh. It's a close one. Let's take a look at the replay, if you are allowed.
I'll show you.
On the back straight. Let's see on the SimRacing Malta car. Oh, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Even hit the car.
Yeah. Not ended well. It's not ideal, but...
probably SimRacing Malta car there will have some sort of suspension damage. But
yeah, he's about 45 degrees offset, I think. Maybe a bit less.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I doubt he'll finish the race. Brandon Tabone, that is.
Yeah, you can see it on board. He is really... to go straight, he needs to almost turn his wheel 90 degrees to the right. You see the suspension is really not happy with the way the car is handling at the moment.
Yeah, and I don't believe suspension is repairable. So, might be the end.
Yeah, it's a shame for him. He was doing quite well at the start of the race.
Oh, Bidokov on Ton van Egmond. That was very close at the end of the straight.
Yeah.
On the brake, he got very close and had to back out of it.
Now he has to watch out for Dominic Waziensko, who's going to try it around the outside. It's not going to work.
Tried the switchback, but nah.
Waziensko in this turn needs to watch out for Lukacek, because he is also right behind him.
Yep.
Got a little bit of a Eastern European battle here.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, let's see who is going to be the quickest down the main straight, and if anyone is going to be able to make a move into turn 1. I think they are all a little bit too far apart from each other.
I mean, if anyone was close enough, it was Lukacek. Well, he was the closest to the lot, but still not enough slipstream.
Luke McGuire still close to Michi Hoyer. He's not giving up as we are past the almost past the 20-minute mark of this race.
Well, 10-minute mark.
Yeah, 10-minute mark, but 20 minutes remaining mark. Luke McGuire making a little bit of a mistake, some oversteer on the exit of the second to last corner. That will not help him. Lost about 3/10 there to Michi Hoyer.
Yeah, just on that last lap alone, Luke lost 7/10.
Yeah, exactly. Waziensko serving a little bit, letting the driver in front of him see that he's there. He is looking for a gap, but not quite yet able to make a move on him.
No, the dirty air of these cars is certainly not helping. But it is what it is, and it's the same for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Gap up to almost 2 seconds now between Michi Hoyer and Luke McGuire. So Michi doing a good job in making the lead bigger here.
Possible Luke's damaged his tyres in some kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he isn't especially known to be some sort of god of tyres that has no tyre wear at all.
Definitely.
Take a look at Jau Pitais. He is about to make a move on the driver in front of him, Bojan Bogdanov.
It's a very important battle in a way because 10th place gets pole position in the sprint race.
Alright.
I can't imagine either one of them wanted to give this one up.
There we go. Apologies for that, but both drivers seem to be teammates, both in the ACR ZX Speed team. He's driving with the ACR ZX Speed livery at the moment. Down the back straight. Not able to make slipstream move working, and has a bit of oversteer on the exit there. He loses quite a lot of time to the driver in front of him.
Meanwhile, 5th and 4th, well, the battle for 4th could get interesting as Bill is not far behind.
Yeah, indeed. He is really close to him. And Tom is also still pretty close to Fabian Ruth.
Yeah.
But now he
maybe
just
if Kittle gets a good exit, he can have a go.
I think Ton had just too good of an exit for him to make any move. And Applegate, one of the first drivers to pit, I think, for a actual pit stop, as we are about to hit the halfway mark here of this 13-minute race. Somebody asking in the chat, how can you join in this series? Does it have any entry fee? No, Winter Series here at FSR is completely for free. There should be a link down in the description that points to our forum of the Winter Series, and there should be a thread there that has all the information about how to sign up, how to make sure you are allowed to race, because you need to allocate yourself, and you need to do pre-qualifying if there are more than a number of drivers that will be selected by pace. As a lot of drivers here are coming into the pit lane, basically the whole of the top 5 is coming in, I think.
Everyone except for Michi.
Wow. So Michi again going for a long first stint. Let's see who's gonna have the best pit stop here.
This could get very hectic.
Here we go. Here we go.
No.
In the pit lane, contact with the Zaxby driver. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was
it Zaxby?
Or Pitais. I think it was a blue car.
Ah, yeah.
Anyway, seems to cost him a couple of positions, maybe.
No, it hasn't cost him any positions.
Some time to Ton van Egmond at least.
Yeah.
Alright, so Maguire has had a massively long pit stop, has he? Oh no, Danny van der Liet and Schmid haven't pitted yet, I thought. That would have been a very long pit stop. It's gonna be interesting to see the lap times of Luke Maguire. Michi Hoyer has been doing 40s basically the whole way through the race. Low 40s, 40.4, 40.2, 40.1. Let's see what Maguire can do. He does a purple second sector first time on his outlap, as Michi Hoyer and Dominik Vaziensko also come into the pit lane. Same goes for Lucas Schmid. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see where he comes out. Michi Hoyer at about about 2 seconds of a gap to Luke Maguire. Here we go. Maguire is on the pit straight at the moment. Michi Hoyer is exiting the pits right there. This is going to be pretty close, actually. Under braking, it's going to be even more close. Michi Hoyer is going to have cold tires and cold brakes coming into the first sector, and Luke Maguire will have the warm tires and warm brakes that will help him in this first sector. Maybe even make that gap go to even less than a second. Maguire is pushing hard here on his tires. Danny van der Liet is the last driver that hasn't pitted yet. Maybe going for a little bit of a long first stint and then pushing hard on his second stint tires.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but because fresh tires are always faster. But
Luke Maguire very hard on the brakes, locking up his inside wheel there, and he's definitely pushing very hard, trying to make a crack in Michi's Hoyer concentration, trying to crack him under pressure, but I'm sure Michi won't give up that easily.
No, it also seems Matt Tucson is disconnected, but...
And even he stays out still, by the way.
Well, that's weird.
Alright, now on the back straight. Luke Maguire is close. But is he close enough for the slipstream? No, I don't think so. Can keep this distance through the whole of the first sector and then on the back straight maybe gain some time. His first corner was a little bit sloppy, missed the inside apex.
Yeah, that's the problem, keeping it through the first sector can be quite difficult.
Yeah, of course. Long corners need some downforce, and in the dirty air of Michi Hoyer, he's gonna lose quite a lot of that. He's too far back now. Michi Hoyer will be concentrating on making sure he gets the best exit as possible out of those corners. Under braking, he came actually quite close there. And then Van der Niet still staying out for now.
No, you must come in this lap. Yeah, he's in this lap. Bit late.
Yeah, well.
Who knows? Maybe he gained some time. Maybe he just didn't want to be in dirty air.
Yeah, Maguire actually going out of the slipstream. Maybe his engine is going a little bit warm. But losing a lot of ground to Michi Hoyer. Michi already over a second ahead now. And I think in those couple of laps, Maguire just smashed his tires.
It's definitely possible.
And he will be feeling the consequences of that pretty soon, I think.
We've got a bit of a train from 3rd to 7th. Seems like no one can make a move or do anything.
Let's see, a little bit back. It is Vazienko taking a look on the car in front of him. Wojciech Lukacek, but not able to make a move. However, Tom van Egmond was pretty close with Fabian Ruth. Tom is looking for that podium spot here in the feature race. Fabian seems to have lost a little bit of pace on these new tires compared to Tom van Egmond.
Yeah, there's a couple of comments in the YouTube chat about track limits and whatnot. Don't worry guys, for the main season it will be enforced much more strictly than it is right now. It's only Winter Series.
Yeah, and the Winter Series, also our administration wants a little bit of rest, so we are not as strict. Otherwise we need to check everybody's lap.
Oh, Tom's got a very good run.
Exactly, it's about to say. Let's see, goes back into the slipstream once more. Now alongside, coming into turn 1, Tom van Egmond making the move. A little bit of contact there, wheel banging together with Fabian Ruth. Who's going to be the first one out of these corners? It's going to be Tom van Egmond for now. But is Fabian Ruth able to stick onto the back of his car? Doesn't seem so, and he also now needs to look out for Kirill Burikov right behind him. Makes a little bit of a mistake in the right-hand corner there. That allows Kirill to take a look here on the inside. Is he gonna try it? No, not yet.
And Wazienko's taking Lukaszek. Lukaszek took a way too wide entry to the fast banked left-hander, and Wazienko just went straight up.
Here we go. Kirill is gonna go on the inside of Fabian Ruth into the hairpin, makes the move stick, and Wazienko is also gonna make lose the position to Lukaszek.
So finally getting some action. With the weight.
Yeah, exactly. Here the battle for basically the top 3.
And Mirakov's battling with Ruth has just allowed Tom to pull away. He's got a couple of seconds of gap. If he can hold on to it, it's podium for him.
Again, side by side. Here, Fabian Ruth about to lose another position.
Ooh,
contact with Lukaszek. And they go wide out of the first corner.
Well, Fabian, you have to give that up.
Yeah.
Gone way off track to defend position. You can't do that.
Here we go. Kirill, or Lukaszek, I should say, makes the move very aggressively there.
That was very close.
Isn't really quite pleased with Fabian's driving, I guess.
And in a matter of laps, Fabian's gone from 3rd to 7th.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's 1.5 laps and he has lost 4 positions. Definitely won't be happy, but I guess if you take a positive look, he will be higher up in the sprint race now. Maybe it was...
Well, yeah, you can look at it like that.
It was all according to plan.
Of course.
Luke Maguire really not able to stick with Mitchell Hoyer again. 2 seconds back now, as there are only 5 minutes remaining in this session. Van Egmond able to also make a gap to Kirill Budukov. Has pulled out a gap of almost 2 seconds now. Very nice driving from the Dutch driver here.
Oh, and Fabian's in the pits.
Oh, wow, maybe some damage or something?
Don't know. What if he... No way. What if he didn't change his tyres? Accidentally on the first stop.
That would be rather interesting if he didn't.
Rather annoying, but yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's going to move Ivan Leonov up into 10th, on pole again for the sprint race.
Right, Leonov was on pole position last week for the sprint race. Maybe he will be again. Bernard Villa is too far back to make a move, but Fabian will have the fresh tires.
Yeah, but the gap's massive.
Back. Yeah, that's way too much for 3 minutes.
Oh, we have a bit of a battle with droppy tires. No. Airfrost out of Bernard Villa. I think. Bit of contact out of turn 1 and 2.
Alright.
But they seem to be getting on with it just fine.
Alright, so the gap between Maguire and Michi is still increasing and increasing every lap. Only 2 minutes remaining, so about 2, maybe 1 lap. Depends a bit on where Michi ends. I think this is going to be the last lap he just started. Will be close though. Further on the track, not really any battles. Bernard Vella maybe with Arif Roslan, but I think they are a little bit too far apart. Oh, actually, Arif Roslan might be able to do something here coming out of the last corner.
Oh, yeah.
He is pretty close.
Why is he not taking the slipstream?
Interesting.
Quite weird.
As Michi Hoyer, where is he on the track? In sector 2, I think.
Yeah, sector 2.
Right. So this is going to be the last lap for him. Drove again a very, very dominant race here at the Dubai Autodrome.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any positions are going to change. Seems like this will be it.
Alright then. So Michi Hoyer taking victory once again here for the feature race of the Formula SimRacing 2018 Winter Series here at the Dubai Autodrome. Great race from the German driver Luke Maguire, missing out on the win, but still takes a very nice second place. Ton van Egmond, amazing drive from him, finishing on the podium here in third place. Ton van Egmond, yeah, great job. Kirill Budakov
drove
in
very
fourth
well.
place. And Wojciech Lukacek already in the pit lane. In fifth place, Dominik Waziensko, same thing for him in sixth. Lucas Schmidt in seventh. Danny van der Niet in eighth. Jouw Pieteis in ninth. And in 10th place it is Ivan Leonov. He will be starting from pole position in the sprint race. Again, once again, he did also do that last race at the Imola track. And Fabian Ruth finishing down in 11th place after making a second pit stop. Losing a lot of time. Bernard Vella managed to keep Arif Roslan behind him and finishes 12th and Arif Roslan 13th. Luis Moreno in 14th. David Santos in 15th. Tank Applegate in 16th. Alexis Clapano in 17th. Jan Vesely in 18th. Borjan Bogdanov in 19th. Jos Arneda 20th. Matthew Tusen 21st. 22nd Stoyan Barbukov. Brendan de Boon 23rd. And 24th Terence Resch. Yep, quite exciting first feature race here at the Dubai Autodrome. And again, Michi Hoyer, just very, very dominant. Anyway, I think we are going to take a little bit of a break here once again. We will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes time, getting ready for the sprint race. The sprint race will be 15 minutes long. As I said before, the top 10 will be flipped. So Ivan Leonov will be starting from pole position with Jouw Pieteis right next to him and Danny van der Niet right behind him. Which will be quite interesting. Last week we saw Michi Hoyer go from 10th place on the grid to 3rd place in only about 5 corners. Amazing job from him, and let's see what he can do this week. Anyway, we will be right back with you in about 5 to 10 minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers are getting ready for the sprint race here at the Dubai Autodrome. We've just had a feature race of 30 minutes long, and we will be shortly starting the sprint race of about 15 minutes long, which will be quite a short splash and dash, to say it like that. Think about 20-25 liters into the tanks of the cars, so the cars will be pretty light, lap times will be pretty quick, and of course they won't have to pit. There's no mandatory pit stop, so it will be just straight from start to finish, no pit stop, at least for most of the drivers. If there's damage, then there will be somebody pitting, but then it's almost entirely certain that his race, at least if he was fighting for the win, will be over.
Yeah,
something hectic.
Severely compromised.
Yeah, exactly. But we will see what happens. Kirill Burikov, quickest in the warm-up session here between the races. But again, like we said before, doesn't really change a lot. And I think Danny van der Niet here right in front of us is doing a couple of practice starts. Just trying to make sure he's got that back point right of his clutch, making sure he can get the best start as possible. Because as I said before, Michi Hoyer last week was able to get from 3rd position up to, oh no, wait, from 10th position up to about 3rd place, which is quite a good start for him.
Yeah, quite an impressive feat, going from 10th to 3rd in one sector. I don't think I'll be able to do that today, unless something out of the ordinary happened.
Yeah, right, so race session is about to begin. Drivers will be lining up on the grid. And Ivan Leonov will be the one starting from that pole position. We'll have some he has some experience now with starting from pole position in the sprint race, so perhaps it goes better this way. I mean, he did an amazing job in the sprint race last week, and let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can defend for the win again, and let's see if he can win it. Danny van der Niet, his team boss, is starting right behind him, and yeah. Dylan, can you once again take us through that grid here at the sprint race?
Yeah, no problem. On the front row, Ivan Leonov and João Pires. Following on row 2, Danny van der Niet, Lucas Schmidt, and following down the rest of the grid, Dominik Wazienko, Wojciech Lukasek, Kirill Birukov, Ton van Egmond, Luke Maguire, and Michi Hoyer, the feature race winner, rounds out the top 10. From there onwards, we have the results of the first race in grid order. So Fabian Ruth, Bernard Vella, Arif Roslan, Luis Moreno, David Santos, Hank Applegate, Alexis Klapano, Jan Vesely, Bojan Bogdanov, and Jos Araneda round out the top 20. And following down, Matthew Tewson, Brandon Tabone, Terence Gregg, and Miles Wee-Way.
Yep, Miles had a very nice livery last week, asking quite straightforward that he was looking for a seat for next season, and I believe he has found one. Looking at his livery, seems that he has found a team. Homeless Driver finds team for 2018, Netrex. So we will be seeing him in the Netrex car next year. And
Netrex car looks quite good.
Yeah,
at least in the Winter Series, it looks really nice.
Yeah, looks promising for the regular season, as Leonov is taking it slowly here through the formation lap, making sure everything is right with the car. Brakes are at good temperature, tires are at good temperature.
Definitely a slow formation lap. Faster.
Alright, so coming out of the last corner now. Some warming up of the rear tires. Making sure that they will be at the perfect temperature to start the race and get off the line as quick as possible. Alright, so the last couple of drivers about to get onto the grid. Everybody in their spots now. Somebody's still not lined up properly. Here we go. The lights are coming on. The lights are on and we are racing here for the sprint race at the FSR Winter Series 2018. It's been a good start for the ACR driver of Lucas Schmidt. Already too wide and challenging Ivan Leonov into turn 1. 4 wide almost going into turn 1. Lucas Schmidt takes the inside line. Danny van der Nieder around the outside. Is he going to be able to make that stick? Now next to Lucas Schmidt and Ivan Leonov. Danny van der Nieder around the outside makes contact with his teammate. And Ivan Leonov keeps the car in the right direction but loses 2 positions. Also a position to Dominik Wazienko.
Just 1 position. I know.
Yeah, he makes his
stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Ruth made a decent start, I think, or maybe not. There's a bit of ping pong going on in there.
Alright, so Michi Hoyer up to 6th place so far. Kirill Bidukov in 8th and Luke Maguire in 9th. Ivan Leonov now needs to defend from Dominik Wazienko, who will be trying it around the outside into the hairpin. No, Leonov late on the brakes and manages to keep the position for now a little bit further back. Also close racing between Lukacek and Michi Hoyer. Michi Hoyer lost that position, I think, to Lukacek.
But I think Maguire just tapped Bidukov and he's lost at least a couple of positions from that.
Right, yeah. Bidukov in 10th place at the moment. Luke Maguire will be looking once again at the rear wing of his team boss, Michi Hoyer, right in front of him. Side by side with Leonov just in the front.
Leonov's had a
contact with João Piteus. And Leonov lost another position to Wazienko. Now Wojciech Lukacek will be looking on the rear wing of Ivan Leonov, trying to make that move maybe into turn 1. Leonov going defensive. Michi Hoyer trying to
Tom Van Egmond on Luke Maguire.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit further back. Here we go.
Bit of wheel banging.
And already the move made by Lukacek into turn 1. And Tom van Egmond side by side with Luke Maguire.
Well, Luke left him room, though. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair racing.
Inside line is going to be for Tom. And yeah, he makes the move stick. Nice job from Tom van Egmond there. Already up to 7th place after starting from
7th, I think.
7th. No, 8th.
Oh, no, 8th.
He started 8th, yeah. And Kirill Bidukov now making the opportunity work as Tom van Egmond ran a little bit right through the long left-hander before the back straight. Now Kirill will be going for the inside. Tom trying to, I should say Luke Maguire trying to take the defensive line. Tom manages to stay ahead, but side by side Luke Maguire, a little bit of wheel banging there with Kirill Bidukov, and Luke able to keep the position. However, for how long?
Still fair. Luke had all the right to be there. And Ruth may have a run on Bidukov.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Maybe around the outside, inside, taking the dive? No, not yet.
Yeah, just letting him know he's there.
Exactly. A little bit further in the front, I saw Leonov getting passed by Michi Hoyer. Michi Hoyer goes wide, and Tom van Egmond needs to watch out for Leonov as well. Manages to keep him behind him, but Michi Hoyer will now be able to make the move on Leonov, and we will have the slipstream on Tom van Egmond. Tom van Egmond playing it smart, making sure Michi can't grab his slipstream that easily. Leonov is going to go for the inside. Is he going to make the move? No. Tom van Egmond goes into turn 1 first and comes out of turn 1 also first. However, Kirill Bidukov is about to make a move on Luke Maguire. No, he decides to not make it stick. Now Luke Maguire is going to try it around the outside of Leonov though. Is that going to work? Inside is going to be for Leonov. Kirill Bidukov takes the opportunity here on Luke Maguire. Luke Maguire will have the inside line for the next corner. Is he able to keep it? Yes. Bidukov tries a switchback. Doesn't really work. But now Fabian Ruth right behind them with a smoking engine. Once again, we saw that last week as well. Down the main straight, 4 cars battling for position. Ivan Leonov is going to be really scared here. Around the outside goes Kirill Budukov. Luke Maguire tries it on the inside. Makes a little bit of contact with Leonov.
That's not so fair.
Yeah, Jao Pitai is almost spinning in the background. Fabian Ruth now right behind Lucas, or Luke Maguire, I should say, sorry.
And so much for Leonov being able to defend first.
Yeah,
He's got first to 10th.
First to 10th in only about 2 laps.
Yeah. It happens. I guess once you get passed by one person, it just keeps on coming, and you don't have time to reset. Especially
in a sprint race like this, everybody is on full attack, and no mistakes can be made. Anyway, Lucas Schmidt, 2.4 seconds to Danny van der Niet. A good job from him so far. Danny not able to stick with him. Anyway, Jalpitaes is about to make the move on Leonov. Is he gonna dive up the inside? No, not just yet. And Fabian is still smoking. I hope his engine makes it to the end of this race, but it's almost smoking for the entire lap now.
No, it stopped now.
And it started again.
Oh yeah. It's only 15 minutes, I think you'll get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. Michi Hoyer now losing a little bit of time to Ton van Egmond. Further in the front, by the way, Lukacek and Waziensko are still really close, and Danny van der Niet needs to watch out. He has only got 3/10 to Dominik Waziensko, and Lukacek is also right behind him. Alright, let's see what Lukacek can do here on Waziensko. Does he have a good enough exit? No, I don't think so. But Danny van der Niet didn't have the best exit either. He will have to watch out for Dominik Waziensko. Waziensko, is he going to make the move into turn 1?
Definitely.
Yes, he definitely is. Danny not defending, but braking late. Almost running wide through the corner, but just manages to take enough speed through the corner to keep Dominik Waziensko behind him. Waziensko trying to take a different line to maybe make something work here. But
well, Lukaszek's caught up to Wazienko massively, so
yeah,
watch out for that. See Lukaszek taking different lines through the fast left-handed, maybe so he can get less dirty air and a better run, and then he can take the slipstream, but it doesn't seem to have worked.
Late braking there by Lukacek. Closing the gap right up to the back of Dominik Waziensko's car. Again, really close there. He is definitely pushing this car to the limit and putting maximum pressure on Dominik Waziensko right in front of him. Ton van Egmond still manages to keep Michi Hoyer behind. 1.5 seconds between them now. Nice job from Ton van Egmond. Lukacek will have a good run out of this last corner. At least it will seem so. Doesn't have the best exit, so loses quite a lot of speed. Danny van der Niet making a defensive move, it seemed, but I think he realized that the car behind was too far back to even try
to think about moving.
Yeah, exactly. Seems that Lukacek is now falling back a little bit more.
Could just be dirtier. Maybe he's saving his tyres so he can have one last last
Yeah,
stab
exactly.
at the end, but
Only just over 5 minutes left in this race. And
it's
Lucas
gone
Schmidt.
by super quick.
Lucas Schmidt is doing a great job so far. Take a look at P14. Terence Gretsch is pretty close to the car in front. That is Luis Moreno in the MSI sponsored car. Very nice livery from them as well, as he makes a mistake and almost loses the car. Manages to keep it in the right direction, but will lose the position here to Terence Gretsch. Maybe can grab some slipstream and try a move around the outside here. No, maybe the switchback coming onto the...
No, definitely not.
No, indeed.
The way the corner flows there, switchback never will work. And now he's going to have to watch out for Just Arenado right behind him. Well,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
a bit
He also
optimistic.
is trying the dive bomb here on the
It's
inside of the
worked.
last corner, but he won't have the slipstream. And Luis Moreno will have some slipstream on him. Let's see if Jos Arenado is able to defend from this. Goes to the inside to defend.
Best
And
place to
Luis
defend.
Moreno has to do it around the outside. Not able to do so. And loses that position to Jos Arenado as well, after making that mistake in the end of the second sector.
Yeah, just one small mistake and you're down 2 positions.
Let's go back to Wojciech Lukacek and Dominik Wazienko, as they are still really close to each other. Yuri asking in the chat again, is it required to have a skin, or are most of these stock skins? Most of them are stock skins. Quite some drivers also have a custom skin made, either by their team or by themselves. But it's not mandatory at all to have a skin. You can just run a standard car if you don't have time or want to make a skin. Anyway, Lukacek is looking for a move around the outside. Again, maybe taking a little bit of a different line to try and minimize the dirty air. They will be coming out of the last corner. 3.5 minutes remaining in this session, so I think 2 laps.
2-3 laps maybe?
Yeah, perhaps will be a close call when they come over the line for the last time. Alright, so Lukacek, he is definitely gonna try and make that move into turn 1. Here we go. On the inside, Wazienko squeezes him a little bit, almost wheel bagging, but side by side through turns 1 and 2. Now the next corner is gonna be the inside line for Lukacek. Wazienko made a little bit of contact with the rear wheel of Lukacek and lost a bit of time there, and also the position to Lukacek. Lukacek now in 3rd position. Looking to hunt down Danny van der Niet.
It was hard racing, but I think it's perfectly fair. Lucas left him space, but just the way the track flows, Wazienko had no option. No way he was going to get past, or get back past.
Exactly. Danny van der Niet has closed the gap to Lucas Schmidt a little bit, but not by a lot. Maybe Lucas just trying to take it slow, making sure his tires go to the end of the race. Let's take a look at Arif Rosson. He's pretty close to Ivan Leonov. Is Ivan gonna lose another position? He's already down in 11th place after starting from pole position.
Yeah, he's fighting for peanuts now. Not much left. Not even, he won't even get points. So.
Right, Arif Roslan. No, he's too far back to make that move. And Terence Gretsch is also not close enough. Let's take a look back at Michi Hoyer, as he is still not able to catch up to Tom Egmond.
Van der Niet's run wide.
Oh, Van der Niet. Has he lost the position to...
he's lost it.
Yeah.
But he may have a chance to get back on the back straight.
Oh dear, then he made that mistake. And
yeah,
he runs wide again.
Right-hander.
Oh, he's way too far back, and
no
he will have to defend from
Vazienko.
Vazienko. Yeah, exactly. Here we go, Vazienko around the outside. Will he have the position even before the braking zone? Then he brakes very late. Manages to keep the position, but a little bit of contact there from Vazienko on the rear wheel of Danny van der Niet. But it seems that Danny is able to maintain the position for now. Vazienko looking up the inside, Danny locking up a little bit.
Both locked up. But that was great defending. It was great on the brakes.
Yeah, great stuff from Danny van der Niet, the rock there. Again, taking a defensive line here. Vazienko trying to go on the inside. Danny squeezing him, but defending hard but fairly.
Is this the last lap, or are we going to have one more? I think one more.
That's tricky. I think it's going to be the last one.
I'm not sure.
Where is he? No, it's going to be the last one, for sure. He's not going to...
Oh, right.
He's going to...
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, Lukas Schmidt takes victory here for the sprint race of the FSR 2018 Winter Series. Lukasek second. Danny van der Niet after the mistake finishing in third. Vazienko not able to capitalize in fourth.
Bidokov went into the pits on the last lap.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not going to help him.
Well, yeah.
Tom van Egmond.
You have to finish the race.
Yeah, Tom van Egmond.
I mean, he finished, but he's lost a load of positions.
Michi Hoyer
I
finishing...
mean, two, actually. But.
Yeah. He's lost... No, that's not... Maybe he ran out of fuel or something, I don't know. Anyway, Michi Hoyer finishing 6th, Luke Maguire 7th, Fabian Ruth 8th, Kirill Budakov 9th, João Pitijs in 10th, Ivan Leonov in 11th, Terence Gretsch in 12th, Arif Rosland 13th, Jota Bernardo 14th, Luis Moreno 15th, Alex Clampano in 16th, Brendan Tabone in 17th, Bernard Vella in 18th, Jan Vesely in 19th, Bojan Bogdanov in 20th, Matt Tucson in 21st, Dan Cabogan in 22nd, and David Santos in 23rd. What a race we've had here. Amazing action throughout the fucking field. But, sorry for my language there. But yeah, great racing through the whole field. And
yeah, definitely great race in both the feature and the sprint race. I mean, yeah, there was a bit of trains here and there, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, Michi Hoyer not able to make that comeback like he did last week. And has to well, take 7th or 6th place, sorry. And Luke Maguire in 7th, right behind Michi. Both driven a very nice race. Anyway, I think yeah, there's not much for us to talk about anymore here.
No, I think that's that.
Yeah. Again, a very nice race from all of the drivers. Michi Hoyer will get a good amount of points again.
Which will probably retain championship lead. Yeah,
definitely, which will probably help him retain that championship lead. He will, I'm guessing he will be back next week. Next week will we be driving at the Adelaide track?
No, not next week. I think it's in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
2 weeks' time we will be driving at the Adelaide track. And
Australia.
That's an amazing track.
Yeah. And the week after that, round what, 4? Yeah, round 4 we're at Sebring.
Yep. And round 5 is gonna be Monaco, which is gonna be an amazing track. I think we're gonna see a lot of drivers either making or breaking.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a little bit of carnage, but hey, it's Monaco.
It's Monaco, yeah. That's all you can say.
Anyway, I think it is time for us to close off. It's been a blast to be commentating here on these 2 races. Amazing races here by the drivers. And yeah, I think it's for us about time to head off. thank you all very much for watching. Dylan, thank you for joining me here in the commentary box.
No problem. Anytime.
All right. Anyway, have a good one for the rest of the weekend, and until 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.